I think dynamism is important because it's unavoidable. So we should then think about it as something that we can interrogate and be masters of. I also think that it is quite a liberating concept to engage with, because in the arts we get to model visions, examples of things, approach difficult concepts or themes that we do it in an abstract space. We do it in a communal way, we allow for empathy so that people can come out of their everyday lives, engage with what we are offering, and then go back and make change in the real world. And I think dynamism is a big part of that. So we are demonstrating change, we are instigating change, so we need to understand it.
Someone recently said to me, and I think it's probably a quote, but I don't know who it's attributed to, the most dangerous sentence in the English language is, "This is how we've always done things." And so I'm thinking a lot about unpacking that and the systems and the status quo we have, particularly in the arts sector in this country, and what needs to change so that we can live in a much more human way and facilitate things in a much more human way, where we allow for self-care and breaks and just looking after ourselves. And I try and bring that legacy of care approach to everything I do.
There's a crucial role there for arts and culture, in the broadest context, to actually find solutions, for all people, and I think one of the biggest missed opportunities often is that I don't think the sector talks about its ability to shift perceptions, and the ability that the creative can do to kind of to approach issues, to approach challenges, to how the divergent eye of the artist or creative can actually come up with something that planners and officials and people like myself could never conceive, in a way that has benefits way beyond. You would never preconceive the outcomes of what an artistic or a creative intervention can achieve within the realm of step change in society.
The world is changing, and with the changing world, we need to perhaps break down some of the structures that have existed, but at the same time, you're replacing them. So it's like building Lego. You're remodeling it, but you're not entirely breaking something down because you feel, oh, this doesn't work. You're rebuilding and morphing and changing so that you get to a space where something new is created, but you haven't completely destroyed the history, the heritage that it sort of stemmed from.
The dictionary definition of dynamism is very much about being like a driving force. And I think sometimes when we think about change or the need to fluctuate and what that means within the context of the arts, it can feel reactionary or it can sound problematic, like unstable. But I think if we just acknowledge that the arts is a space of constant transience and artistic endeavours and creativity, then obviously it's going to be about change, and it's like, how do we facilitate that, how do we formalise for that, and how do we find our power in that? So that's what I think dynamism should mean to myself as an artist, but also as someone who's running a venue, of just how do I make myself a transformer in a way that allows for good art and just good relationships.